I'm here today because we're releasing a number of major policy papers to make sure Toronto becomes the envy of the world and be emulated elsewhere. About a week ago, I released my program for senior citizens, which is to make an age-friendly city, including allow senior citizens to be able to stay in their homes if they live in their homes by protecting them from property tax increases, and also getting a seniors advocate position at City Hall. Today we're here in Hugh Garner Co-op and with Eleanor MacDonald, who's a key activist in this amazing organization. And here what you see is the kind of largest residential green roof. And it is a beauty to behold, as you can see. And I said that because I was the champion of green roofs in the city of Toronto. We are the only city in North America that has a green roofs bylaw, which was effective in January of this year. And also, as I mentioned, I'm a tree advocate. 10 years ago, interesting enough, we were planting only 9,500 trees in Toronto. And this year, we're planting 109,000 trees in Toronto with the efforts that I've led. And that's very important, by the way, because I heard Vice President Al Gore a couple of months ago, and he said, we're trying to figure out how do we take all this pollution out of the air and put it in the ground, because if it's in the air, resulting in climate change and disasters like we've seen in Pakistan in the last week, or flash floods everywhere. And he says that technology of removing those greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide in this case, and putting oxygen that exists. It's called a tree. So doubling the tree canopy will make sure that we're cleaning the environment and doing our bit for climate change. Also, as you know, my work at Exhibition Place, we made it into a showcase of environmental sustainability. From North America's first urban wind turbine, which I'm proud to wear here, which became the poster child of renewable energy, to green roofs, to using rainwater in order to flush toilets rather than using potable water, which takes a lot of energy. Now, talking about food, and we are what we eat, as somebody said, I'm here today, to present our plan for food prosperity, which, because Toronto's largest employment sector, interesting enough, is the food sector. It employs 1 out of 8 jobs. Little known fact, but it is that huge. Yet 1 out of 10 households cannot afford healthy meals in our city, especially seniors and residents of priority neighborhoods. They live in what they call food deserts, where there's no opportunities. I have a whole program, which you can get a copy of, to start to address that issue. Because the way we approach food is the way we approach our society. Because all of us need to eat, and like I said, 1 in 8 jobs in the city is related to the food industry. So I want to do things like double the number of community gardens on public land to 200 from the present 100. I want to double the number of municipal allotment gardens to 9,000 from 4,500 now. I want to make sure that we plant fruit trees. I'm the tree advocate. I think we should plant an additional 1,000 fruit trees in our parks, and the other appropriate places. That way they could be harvested, from organizations such not far from the tree organization, which harvest them and they provide it to food banks and so forth. And I want to make sure we have twice as many farmers markets in Toronto as part of the distribution. And the city also will have to provide 50% purchasing target for children's services, which is practically a doubling that. There's a local food procurement policy. And that will extend the policy throughout the city. And also in terms of job security, there's nothing more important than that breakfast, a school nutrition program. And I want to have a 25% increase in city funding for school nutrition programs. Our kids are our future. And every ward should have a neighborhood food hub, where in libraries, community centers, or schools, doesn't have to cost any more money. And this hub will provide information and workshops on where and how to acquire health and culturally diverse foods, and offer tips on community growing, etc. And the city also will help residents access and create food resources in their own community. And these are some of the issues that I believe we must do, because we have an amazing capability in our city which we're not using. And that's good not only because you get better quality food, because it comes closer, it's fresher. Also, you're going to get food where whether there's any pesticides or herbicides around it. Also, you're going to make sure that it's food, we're going to be supporting the farmlands around Toronto, in the Oak Ridges Moraine, in the Holland Marshes, which our farmers are the ones that feed us. Right, and also we're going to be helping Mother Earth, because we've been very nasty to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is retaliating, through events like in Pakistan and flash floods and so forth, by make sure that we don't, use energy shipping food from California, Florida, Chile, and elsewhere in the world. At least get less of that. This is part of the food security of our city, food quality of Toronto, which I believe we must do. I think we have to change our mindsets about how we live in our society, so we can live holistically. Hugh Garner Co-op is doing that here. Did you know, for example, that 20% of the surface of the city of Toronto is roofs? 20%. If you use that area, imagine wasting 20% of anything. It's huge. It provide the opportunity, which helps the environment and grow food in all opportunity. So that's basically my food program. We are what we eat, and our city is how we eat it, in effect. Whether we have to go to the supermarket and buy stuff from Chile, or whether we go to a local farmers market, support our farmers, or maybe grow it in your own backyard, on your own local park. And, Mayor Joe Pantalone will bring everybody to the table to have good, healthy, sustainable food. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe. I'd like to thank our lovely hostess for allowing us the opportunity to come here, and also recognize the fact that we have two people here who represent what Joe's just been talking about. We have Jim Gracie, who's with Quality Meat Packers within our 100-mile area of Toronto, and we have Katie Matthew, who's a urban farmer and has an 1,800 square foot farm on top of a building near Queen and University. So these two people represent exactly what Joe's talking about. We want to thank you for this effort. Thank you all for coming. And enjoy our food.
And finally, we also, Joe he signed this pledge to make sure that he pushes for municipal food sustainability as a part of making Ontario more sustainable. And we wanted to present the signed pledge from Joe to Darcy Higgins from Food Forward, who's a food sustainability activist in Toronto.
Joe Pantalone, municipal election candidate for Mayor, City of Toronto, hereby commit to make farming and food a central part of my platform. Sure, I'd be elected into office. I've already done that, actually. So here you are, signed and sealed and delivered. And thank you for the great work that you do. Appreciate it.